Barcelona missing out on the knockout stages of the Champions League for the first time in 21 years. It's been all over the front pages in the Spanish sports dailies. Marca with the collapse, AS with to hell. Mundo Deportivo saying below zero, sub-zero, basically making reference to the weather as well. And it's a sad goodbye from sport to the champions. Also, it is what it is, it says from Esport2. Frank and Jules are still with us. We now welcome in Gemma as well. Now, don't be fooled. She's in Madrid at the moment, ahead of a very big game this weekend. It's the Madrid derby, but we won't focus on that right now. Let's focus on the fallout from what's happened with Barcelona. And I know, Gemma, everyone's saying it's not so much of a surprise, but when you actually put that into words, it's actually quite shocking to hear, isn't it?
It is. Hola, hola, Kay, Shaka from Madrid. They were quite happy here in the capital yesterday watching Barcelona embarrass themselves in Munich. We're just landing from Munich. Actually, we were in the match yesterday. And yeah, it's shocking because, you know, 6 years ago, this team was able to win the treble. They clinched the Champions League in Berlin. They were an amazing team. They even studied the Barcelona success model in Harvard. They should study it now. The Barcelona failing model to don't make never any sport club the same mistakes this club has done, because it's shocking, as you mentioned, Kay. It's a very frustrating moment. Psychologically, the players are really affected. Economically, it's really a big problem because they were counting on the budgets of these 20 million of income to reach the last 8. They were not able to do that. In the most optimistic case, that I really doubt that. If they win the Europa League, they will make 17 million euros, so less than that. So, and also they have to renew the sponsors, the T-shirt sponsor. It will be less money. And in matter of trying to attract good players or retain the youngsters, it's going to be a thing. It's a big thing that not playing in the Champions League, and especially because I'm not sure they will be able to play it next year because they are so far from the first 4 spots in La Liga, and playing like that with a huge problem with the goal as they have, I think it's very, very difficult they will make it.
So now what, Gemma? What does this mean for them? How do they approach everything going forward this season? How do they look at the Europa League? How do they look at trying to make it in the top 4, and what do they prioritise?
Well, Kay, we talked with some players yesterday after the defeat. They were devastated. There was a quick speech of Xavi. He said they need to use this frustrating as a turning point. They need to start a new era, but they don't have time for that. They need to stand up. They have to play this weekend against away from home against Osasuna. That's a difficult stadium. They are really hurt. They don't have strikers because Memphis Depay is another injured striker. He's got an injury in the hamstring. So it's really difficult. They have been only able to score 2 goals in the group stage in the Champions League. They are really having problems in that area. We see they have a lot of problems, as Müller mentioned, in the game to keep that intensity. They don't have intensity. I think there are some green shots with Xavi, with the system. I think the only chance they have is to water those green shots, try to have this defeat, this embarrassing as a turning point, starting to have a new era with the youngsters. There is some talent, and if they psychologically get repaired and physically a little bit as well, because they are having problems in that area. They have a new doctor, Ricard Pruna, is back with the team, trying to avoid those lots of injuries. We will see, and they need to lower their expectations. The fans of Barcelona. It's some tough years coming ahead, and we will see if they ever go back to that excellency we were used to.
Jules, I know this was a topic with yourself and Gab and Samuel Marsden on the Gab and Jules podcast today. What do you think? What now? What in the immediate future for Barcelona?
I think there's dark times coming for sure, but again, this is the level. They don't belong today in the last season of the Champions League. They're not good enough. This is not the level. The level is the Europa League, and by the way, they will have to play against one of the teams that finished second in their group in the Europa League as a sort of like a playoff if you want to go to the last 16, and that could be Napoli, that could be Lazio. It's not even a given that they're going to make it to the Europa League last 16, but this is their level. They're not amongst the 16 best teams in Europe right now. Xavi might take them back there, but they're not even in the 4 best teams in Spain right now. So this is, I think, what we need to get used to. This is not the Barca of old. It's a difficult time. This is not Xavi's failure. This is the failure of the Dutch guy, of course, of Laporta, of Bartomeu, of all those wrong managers that they appointed through the years after Luis Enrique and the 2015 treble that Gemma rightly just mentioned. And this is a long time of failing those fans, failing the squad, the players, failing Messi as well, which he ended up leaving. And this is where we are now. And I think it could take them a long time. Remember what happened with Milan. Remember what happened with Inter. Once they go into crisis mode, it took them a very long time to go back towards the top. Not even at the top, towards the top. Let's hope for Barca fans that it won't take as long, but there's a dark times coming for sure.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.